We forgot a quorum already, so we will deal with the Road Traffic Amendment Ordinance 2012 Commencement Notice. Agenda item 1, election of chairman. We need to have a member making the nomination and another member seconding the nomination, and the member being nominated has to accept the nomination. Any nominations, please? Mr. Poon Siu Peng, I nominate Mr. Low Wai Kwok. Any seconder? I'm the seconder. Yes, I'm willing to accept the nomination. Please take over the chair, and then you can decide whether we need a deputy chairman. Any other nominations, please? No? Then Mr. Low Wai Kwok, please. Thank you. Do members think we need a deputy chairman? It seems that we don't need one, since the work of this subcommittee is going to be relatively simple and straightforward. So please invite the administration in. Now I have to attend another meeting held next door, and so I hope to say something first, and then I'll have to leave. All right. Has the meeting started next door? Yes. So with us today, we have Ms. Ivy Law, Deputy Secretary for Transport and Housing, Ms. Cordelia Lam, Principal Assistant Secretary for Transport and Housing, Mr. C from the DOJ, and then Mr. Michael Ng, Acting Assistant Commissioner, Transport Department, Ms. Stella Lee, Principal Transport Officer, Transport Department, and Mr. Patrick Wong, Chief Transport Officer, Transport Department. I think the commencement notice is relatively simple. So can I invite the administration to take us through the paper, please? Yes, thank you, Chairman. Thank you, members. The administration has all along attached great importance to road safety, and we have been putting in place measures to enhance safety for pedestrians and drivers. Earlier on, there were two fatal accidents involving public light buses, and as a result, in 2011, a package of measures were proposed. The LegCo enacted the Road Traffic Amendment Ordinance 2012, and various measures are included in the legislation, including requiring applicants of PLB driving licenses to have attended and completed a pre-service course before they are issued with the driving licenses. Now, this part of the ordinance did not come into immediate effect because there was a need to allow time for preparation work. But then we've already completed our preparation work, and so the requirement for mandatory attendance and completion of a pre-service course by applicants of PLB driving license will come into effect on the 1st of June 2015. The pre-service course seeks to enhance the awareness of safe driving of new PLB drivers and enhance their knowledge of PLB operation and service attitude. Incumbent drivers and existing holders of PLB driving licenses will be affected by this new requirement. We understand that the trade has expressed some concerns. It is true that the measure can enhance the awareness of safe driving of new PLB drivers, but then the trade is worried that this requirement will deter new entrants to the trade. So we have tried to assist the trade, for example, letting the trade take part in recruitment activities organized by the Labor Department. And also the pre-service course has been included under the Skills Upgrading Scheme Plus of the ERB. Those who are eligible can get 50% or 70% waiver, of the course fee, subject to an income test by the ERB. So this measure seeks to respond to concerns on the part of members of the public concerning road safety. Thank you. Mr. Yik and then Mr. Poon. I think, Chairman, we all understand the rationale behind these measures. During that period, there were a number of serious traffic accidents involving PLBs. In 2011, it was PLBs were required to be fitted with if approved speed limiters, and that was implemented in March 2013. And of course, PLBs were also required to be fitted with approved electronic data recording devices. In fact, I've already obtained data from the Transport Department, and I've got data for the first 6 months of 2014, and I can see that the number of accidents did go down. In fact, in the past year or two, there weren't too many serious accidents involving PLBs, and of course there were still minor traffic accidents involving PLBs. I'm not against the idea of requiring applicants of PLB driving licenses to have attended and completed a pre-service course, but then we have about 4,000 PLBs, and if they are to operate throughout the year, and we have 2 shifts per day, we need a total of 11,000 employees, and we're now suffering from a shortage of about 2,000. And then about 20 to 30% of the drivers only work on a part-time basis, and they may retire at any time. So I'm worried that this new requirement may deter new entrants to the trade. Now, in fact, many people say that if you go to a PLB stand and if you randomly pick 3 PLB drivers and you add up their age, the number will exceed 200, no doubt. And so I'm worried that a few years later there will be an acute shortage of drivers. And so the trade hopes that this subcommittee can hold a public hearing so that they can come to put forward their concerns to LegCo members directly. And second, they hope that the commencement date can be deferred until the manpower situation has improved. And in fact, I have on various occasions suggested importation of labor, but I understand that the unions are strongly against this idea. But I want to say that we really have a very severe manpower shortage problem for PLB drivers as well as for cross-border truck drivers. And so I hope that a public hearing can be held, and I also hope that the commencement date can be deferred. In fact, many have suggested that this measure be shelved, and I've told them that this will not be possible, and they have now asked for a shelving of the measure, and they hope that the measure can be postponed for at least 2 years. All right, any response from the Bureau? And then I'll invite Mr. Poon Shoo Peng to make his comments. Yes, I hope the members will understand that we hope to enhance traffic safety. I understand that the trade does have recruitment problems, but then the Transport Department has been in liaison with the trade, and my colleague will give more details. Now let me say something about the accident figures. And there were a smaller number of accidents involving speeding. In 2011, there were 1,142 accidents, and then in 2012, 1,061, a slight drop. But in 2013, the number rose again to 1,128. And then concerning serious accidents involving deaths, 2012, 2013, down 2 cases. In other words, from 17 to 15. And in fact, the measures launched in proposed in 2012 were quite effective. But does it mean that we no longer need further measures to enhance traffic safety? Because in fact, a lot depends on the driving attitude of the drivers, especially in relation to the not so serious accidents. We hope that accidents, or rather drivers, can have a proper driving attitude, and we hope to increase their awareness of safe driving and their knowledge of PLB operation and service attitude. So perhaps my colleague can say more about how the Transport Department has been helping the trade resolve its recruitment problems. Yes, Chairman, we have been liaising with the trade. We understand that they have difficulties in recruitment. Last year, we liaised with the Labour Department. We have asked operators to take part in the recruitment fairs. So they took part in the fairs in June, July, September, November, and December last year, and January, March, May, and July this year. And there were fairs in recruitment fairs in Tuen Mun, Chang Kwan O, Chun Wan, North Point, Chang Sha Wan, and so on and so forth. And we've also liaised with NGOs giving support to ethnic minorities. And we've asked operators to liaise with these NGOs which have databases concerning job vacancies. And we understand that the CSD has got a caring employer platform, allowing employers to contact the CSD so that employers can let inmates know what jobs may be available to them when they are released. And we've encouraged PLB operators to be caring employers and to use the platform to try to recruit released prisoners to be PLB drivers. And so we hope that that will help solve the recruitment problems faced by the trade.
Of course, I understand that the department has done a lot to help the situation, but I just told you the current situation. On para 13 of Electrical's paper, it is mentioned that as at May 2013, the number of vacancies has dropped to 660. That was 1 year ago. the situation 1 year ago. Yes, I just told you the latest figure, and I can forewarn you that in the coming few months, GMBs will return routes to you because they cannot employ drivers. So let me tell you, the situation is very serious. It's not as light as you take it. And the employers or the operators are willing to pay employees. The problem is there is no one to respond to the recruitment. Young people do not like to take up driving as a professional career, and the pay of GMB drivers is relatively low. That is according to the FTU. So you see, they face an acute manpower shortage. And the Secretary has also given us information on the number of accidents. Can you please give me a breakdown by months? I'd like to know, since March 2013, the introduction of mandatory speed limiter, I'd like to know whether there is indeed a downward trend in the number of accidents. If yes, of course, it is desirable. The question is whether the drop is sufficient. I'd like to understand more. I'd like to take this opportunity to say that under the current requirements, you have to have a private vehicle driving license for 3 years before you can take a PLB driving license test. Now, even other commercial vehicles, they find hard to recruit drivers. It is meaningless to expect people to have a valid driving license for at least 3 years unless they've been really driving. What if they haven't been driving in the previous 3 years? So please review this requirement. It is difficult for you to encourage people to learn to become commercial drivers. After all, they have to be trained and sit for an examination. It's useless if you require them to have possessed a driving license for the past 3 years if they were not driving at all. Mr. Pan Xiaoping. Well, we're concerned about traffic accidents involving PLBs, and here are a few measures to ensure that Mr. Yu said that it's hard for PLB operators to recruit drivers, and they may have to forfeit some of their routes. As we all know, the system of GMBs and employment conditions are such that they cannot enable drivers to make a decent living. So only retired commercial drivers are interested to become GMB drivers. So perhaps the trade should consider improving the employment conditions of drivers. This pre-service course, if my understanding is correct. Now, if I'm wrong, would administration please correct me? Now, if somebody would like to get PLB driving license before the 1st of June 2015, now if a person has already acquired a license before that date, there is no need for him to take that pre-service course. Otherwise, he has to take the driving test and then take a course that costs around $1,500. Of course, you talked about financial assistance. So if a person would like to have a license after the cutoff date, they must take that pre-service course. I'd like to know whether there will be any assessment after that 15-hour pre-service course. Is there any assessment in the course? And regarding the EDRD, you mentioned that a number of suppliers available. However, the cost ranges from $1,800 to $1,500. Are you saying that theoretically speaking, even the cheapest device can meet the requirements? And why is there such a big discrepancy in prices? In other words, can minibus just go for the cheapest device and can still satisfy your requirements? DS, whether an assessment is needed in the course, the answer is yes. And as for the speed limiter, well, it is the prices are set by the market, and any device or that is listed in the annex is acceptable. There are 5 measures in the amendment ordinance, 3 of which have been implemented, and according to the administration, they have proved to be useful. And now we'll talk about the effective commencement date for the EDRD and also the pre-service course. I think there's been public consultation with the trade. Now, these are the 2 remaining measures in the amendment ordinance that have yet to commence. I'd like to know whether these measures agreed to by the trade during consultation. Chairman, I believe that was the case because back then there were serious fatal accidents. But it was not envisaged that a few years down the road the employment or the manpower situation is that bad. So the only controversial measure is the effective date of the pre-service course, and the trade is very worried and they would like the administration to delay the commencement date. If not, I will move an amendment to delay it. I hope you understand. Regarding the EDRD, the commencement date is the 1st of December 2014. There is no controversy over this, so we will focus on the requirement to complete a pre-service course. We understand that we have to strike a balance between industrial safety and the employment difficulties of the trade. And Mr. Yik would like us to conduct a public hearing so that the trade can come to express their views. All right, we'll entertain Mr. Yik's proposal, but then we also have to consider the deadline for the scrutiny period. According to the Secretariat, the deadline for the scrutiny is the 15th of October this year, assuming that it is not extended. And the Secretariat has proposed the 12th and the 16th of September for further meetings if need to be. If we want to invite the trade to express their views, I suggest that we do not defer it to, we do not wait until September. Can we have a public hearing 2 weeks from now? I'll be on leave starting from tomorrow, and I'll only be back in Hong Kong on the 19th of August. Oh, the 19th. All right, we can apply for extension of the scrutiny period. Well, to play safe, I think we should extend the scrutiny period to the 5th of November. All right, we'll consider the dates later. I still have a couple of questions. Mr. Yik said that there are calls from the trade to shelve this requirement, but as Mr. Yik said, he has discussed with the trade, and this may not be possible. And the trade is also asking for the commencement date of this measure to be deferred for 2 years. So, DS, do you have any preliminary position on this proposal? Can you defer the commencement date in the light of the call from the trade? Right now, it is the 1st of June 2015. So, Mr. Yik, are you asking for the date to be deferred to the 1st of June 2017? Yes, thank you. As I said at the beginning, these measures were proposed in 2012 after an in-depth discussion. The measures were not introduced at once back then because the trade needed time to be prepared. Now, we are aware of the recruitment difficulties and the need for different parties to be prepared. We have already fixed a relatively late commencement date, and that is the 1st of June 2015. Now, we have fixed it on the 1st of June 2015. This is to cater for the trade's concern about whether the date can be further ahead. So we have to bear in mind the need to ensure operational safety of PLBs. Now, if a measure that was supposed to be introduced in 2012 is to be deferred to 2017-18, will the public have the perception that this is too far away? But I understand that you are going to meet representatives from the trade, and we're willing to wait until after the public hearing and give you our responses. We'd like to take care of both the needs of the industry and the need to ensure public road safety. Mr. Pan, whether they can recruit drivers depends on the employment conditions. Now, we're told that the pre-service course requires an assessment. Now, if I would like to join the trade, can I take the pre-service course first before I take the driving test? Because it may be a waste of money. If I take the driving test first before I take the pre-service course, I'd like to know how difficult the assessment is. Now, if people can make a living, I think operators don't mind paying for the pre-service course for their drivers. Yes, prospective drivers can take the pre-service course first before taking a driving license. However, that must be done within a year. That means the person has to be confident that he can pass the driving test within 1 year after he has taken the pre-service course. Our suggestion is to take the PLB driving license test first before taking the pre-service course, which lasts for 16 hours. It can be done in 1 day or 2 days. The purpose is to equip drivers with the knowledge about a safe operation of PLB. Of course, an assessment will be included, but we're not going to make it particularly difficult to create a hurdle for the candidates. May I follow up? There are very few new drivers. Will the pre-service course be taught in Cantonese or what? Yes, currently we require the course to be taught in Cantonese, but in our code of practice we also require service providers to provide training in English as well, or translators be allowed from the students. Will ensure that people that are non-Cantonese speaking will have the opportunity to take such a course should they want to. Mr. Yik, yes. the pay of GMB buses is not very attractive. No, but for GMB fares, they have to be approved by district councils and the government. You know, it is impossible to increase fares if you need district council's approval. I hope I can find time to understand with you, to see whether GMB operators are really fattening themselves at the expense of drivers. And perhaps, if yes, then perhaps they should raise the pay of such drivers. Otherwise, they will only suffer.
Secondly, now you've provided us with the data. May I refer to page 4 of the electrical paper? In fact, para 13, at the end of 2012, there were 1,300 vacancies, and then you tried to assist, and the number went down to about 660 as at May 2013. But then I want to say that in the past year or two, there was a labor shortage in almost all sectors in Hong Kong. And the manpower shortage problem is quite serious. And I want to say that at the moment, the number of vacancies in the trade exceeds 2,000. So the situation hasn't improved. It has deteriorated. And I want you to give me the monthly figures concerning traffic accidents. Because I want to know the trend. I have to go to the meeting next door. And Chairman, I have to leave. And I think what is most important is that there should be a public hearing. All right. Let's have a public hearing on the 16th of September, 2:30 p.m. Mr. Yik, in your view, how many deputations will come? Not too many, I believe. All right, so let's meet the deputations and then meet the administration at that meeting. And I think it's better for us to extend the scrutiny period of this commencement notice. Mr. Tan Ka-Piu. Chairman, in 2011, 2012, there were very alarming traffic accidents involving PLBs. Some were related to speeding, some were related to drink driving or drug driving. In the past 1 or 2 years, we didn't see such horrible traffic accidents. I understand that some colleagues want the commencement date to be deferred. In fact, we've consulted the General Union. They don't have any particular views. They understand that the incumbents will not be affected, and they understand that there are good reasons behind this measure. But then they've told me that the trade is not very attractive to newcomers, and so the trade is worried that there may not be enough new blood, there may not be enough new drivers, and so the union has no objection to deferring the commencement of the measure. So it's important that there be a public hearing. And of course we need to strike the right balance. Let's invite the deputations to come. And let's see whether members of the public think there is that the measure can be deferred or not. And we've or we should also look at more information from the Transport Department. For example, safety belts, speed limiters. We need to look at the number of accidents, the casualties, and then we can decide whether there are good reasons for deferring the commencement of the measure. So I hope that you can do your homework during the summer recess, and then we can look at the data. I think the data are important. Yes, Chairman, thank you. The number of speeding cases went down. But then in 2011, there were over 1,100 vehicles involved in accidents. In 2012, the number dropped a bit, and then 2013, the number was 1128. So it is not that the number of accidents dropped. And the casualties, please. 2011, fatal accidents 18, 2012, 17, 2013, 15. And then the total number, 2011, 1087, 2012, 1031, a slight drop, 2013, up to 1094. So you mean with people injured, and then fatal accidents, and also serious accidents, 114 in 2011, and then 2013 up to 1776. Are you talking about cases or number? Number 1776. So we do understand the difficulties faced by the trade. But then the driving attitude of the drivers is important, and that's why we are proposing the pre-service training course to try to enhance the awareness of safe driving of new PLB drivers. Now, the safety belts can protect the passengers when an accident occurs, but then the accident has already occurred, and so we think we need to enhance the safety awareness of drivers. We hope that the number of accidents involving PLB drivers can drop. So this is in fact in response to concerns in the community. So please do give us the data as soon as possible. Yes, Mr. Yik has suggested that monthly figures be provided to the subcommittee. All right, anyone else? Any other views? No? So we'll have a hearing on the 16th of September, and we need to extend the scrutiny period. All right, so the meeting is adjourned, and there will be a public hearing on the 16th.
唔該，主席。唔該，主席。